from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay. We from
throwing his plays out there.
He might be able to do something. Now let's get to the big shebang bang. This is the big shebang bang. This is the one that's going to determine the entire playoffs, and this is going to determine if people really got something to play for or not. This is a 4:00 Eastern Standard Time game. We got the number one Georgia Bulldogs, my boys, 12-0. My cousin, you ever know? Now he a hoe ass motherfucker right now, but my cousin on my father's side is Herschel Walker, but he a hoe ass motherfucker right now. Him and his son. But I still ride with him. Georgia Bulldogs 12-0, 8-4 against the spread, going up against the number 2 team in the country, Alabama Crimson Tide, 11-1, 6-6 against the spread. That's SBO Kendall's team right there. This line opened up in favor of the Bulldogs, the -4 right now. That line's at -6.5. The total opened up at 53 right now. It's at 49.5. Get to these injury reports. Georgia right now, wide receiver Jackson, he is probable for the grade. He's been upgraded to probable with the ribs injuries. Linebacker Anderson, he's questionable. He's still dealing with some legal issues. Offensive line Salyer, he is questionable as well. Defensive back Smith's questionable. Blaylock, wide receiver's questionable. Davis, linebacker, he's questionable. Also, tight end Gilbert, he's questionable. Running back Milton, he's questionable also. And another wide receiver, Robinson, he's questionable. All for Georgia Bulldogs. For Alabama, Robinson Jr., the running back, he's questionable. Randolph, the offensive lineman, he's questionable as well. Armour Davis, defensive back, he's questionable. Dow Court's questionable, the offensive line. And Colt, the linebacker, he's questionable also. Georgia coming up 45-0 victory against Georgia Tech, while Alabama squeaked away in overtime against Auburn 24-22. Let me save it till it's my time to go. Georgia, actual factuals, 10-5 against the spread in the last 15 games. They're under 6-6 out of the last 8. They're 10-0 straight up in the last 10 games, 0-6 straight up in the last 6 games against Alabama, 12-0 straight up in the last 12 games this season, 11-0 straight up in the last 11 games when playing against an SEC opponent, and they undersit 4 out of the last 6 when playing against a West Division opponent. Actual factuals for Bama, the undersit 4 out of the last 6. They're 6-0 straight up in the last 6 games this season. They oversit 8 out of the last 9 against Georgia. They're 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games this season. 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games against SEC opponent. The overs hit 5 out of the last 7 whenever playing against an East Division opponent, and the overs also hit 10 out of the last 15 when playing in the month of December. So Alabama taking on Georgia Bulldogs. It's going down in Atlanta. Marley, what's the play?
It is going down in Atlanta. Real big boy football right here. And I'm riding with, say, man, I learned my lesson. What was that, like week 3, week 4 when they played Arkansas? Whatever week that was. And I've been saying it ever since then. I'm backing the Bulldogs minus the 6.5. This defense is only giving up 6.9 points a game. Like that's just it at the end of the day. 6.9 points a game. That's not even a touchdown. And Alabama is giving up 19. So even if that just holds true, which the Crimson Tide, I expect them to get in the end zone, right? I expect them to at least get there once or twice, maybe. But this defense is just unreal. It's NFL players everywhere. I'm taking the Bulldogs minus the 6. I don't care how good Bryce is. He's still a freshman. I don't think he's really seen anything like this yet. The Iron Bowl, I'll chalk that up to being an Iron Bowl. That's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. I get that. But what people got to understand, too, about this game is it's not only the SEC. This is Georgia's this is their nightmare. Like, this Alabama has beat them every single time they thought they was ready to step up. So not only they're going to get their best effort from Alabama. I don't need luck, SBO. I'm telling you, the Tide is going to need luck this week. I'm telling you, bro. Like, not only is that defense going to be hyped up more hyped up than they've ever been at any point in this season to beat Alabama. Like, they've been losing to them for the last 3 years, and like this is their chance to like step on their neck. And I think that's what's going to happen. I'm taking Georgia minus the 6. And like I said earlier, I just really want them to beat Alabama. I don't want to see Alabama in the playoffs. Call me a hater, SBO. Call me what you want to, but Todd ain't rolling this week, big dog. I'm on Georgia minus the 6.
Man, it's tough to bet against Bama, and
It is
tough. This is like my first time
Bama plus 6.5. When you ever
in
go
the
get that?
last decade that I've seen Alabama as the underdogs, bro. And here's why they're the underdogs. It ain't because they lost.
No, it's not because they lost.
It's because of Bill O'Brien, bro. And
that's a good point.
He's gonna be the reason they fucking lose, bro.
That is a good point.
Bill O'Brien. Now, SBO, I know you Bama, but we've been watching Bill O'Brien for the last couple of years here in the H. And
that man decision making is not the best.
And it's a reason why he in the booth. And I've told people this before the year even jumped down. It's a reason why he's in the booth, because he don't want them cameras to show Nick Saban getting on his ass for his incompetence and his mediocrity as play caller. It's a reason he's in the booth. It's a reason Bill O'Brien was trending during the Iron Bowl last week.
Yes, sir. Yep.
It's a reason he was trending on Twitter. It's a reason for that, because he's trash. He's garbage. And that right there, he may lose his job this weekend. Now, Bama, I do like Bama. It's tough to bet against Bama. And when I see Bama as an underdog, bro, I'm like, because I don't think Georgia plays well in these big moments. Now, the only reason they made it to the Natty the last time they were in the playoffs is because Oklahoma ain't had no defense, and Lincoln Riley let his foot off the gas when he had Baker Mayfield and they was playing in the Rose Bowl. By far, that was one of the best college games I've seen in a while. But they can't win the big ones. It's scary. I like this Georgia defense. Two things right now is keeping me away from taking Alabama money line, and that's a freshman quarterback going against a defense like this with Big Jordan playing that 2-tech or the 1 or the 0, depending on how they want to move him around on that front. And Bill O'Brien, bro. SBO, I ain't got nothing against Alabama.
Definitely not.
It's Bill O'Brien, bro. He and I've seen it this year, like his play call. He had one excellent game of play call, and that was against Miami. But we see what Miami was. But Bill O'Brien is trash. Man, these points. This is a tough one, bro.
You're gonna lose.
I'm gonna just for the sake of the show, I'm gonna take. Yeah. He's a sophomore, but because of the COVID shit. But he's a freshman on this field. But man, I'm gonna ride with Georgia. I'm gonna ride with Georgia on this one. But I'm gonna tell y'all what the lick gonna be. And we be texting about this all the time. The lick for this type of game is live betting. And the lick is the good old-fashioned SEC quarter unders. So for sure, take the under in the first quarter and the second quarter. Whatever that live under is, those I'm eating this weekend on the good old-fashioned SEC unders by quarter, and I guarantee you I'll end up making about $400-500 on live betting just on the corners alone. I'm sorry, I know SBO, but bro, I don't like Bill O'Brien. I don't like him. And that's not even. And the Texans aren't even my team. I'm a Panthers guy. I just don't like his play calling. And this defense that they going against are some goons, bro. They got 3 first-round picks on every level. And what I mean by every level, I'm talking about defensive line, linebacker unit, DB unit. They got some goons out there, and I just don't think Bill O'Brien. But, bro, this is a crazy game. Alabama could be playing possum. They could have been playing possum since A&M game, bro. They could be playing some serious possum right now.
Fuck no.
See,
No.
and I hate when you talk like that, Marley. You can't do that because when you start talking that cash shit like you did with Jim Harbaugh last week,
hey,
who is Harbaugh?
And I would take my L's. Hey,
but it's been a couple of times this year when you started talking that shit about them, and I'm like, man, Marley, don't talk that shit like that.
Look,
it always come back and bite us.
I'm right more times than I'm wrong. My record says so.
Hey man, if we got any editors, I would love for them to go find a couple times when you didn't talk that shit. Like it's different when you talk shit about the game, but when you start talking shit,
the ones I was
who is Harbaugh? Harbaugh ain't beat nobody.
Not the ones I was right too though, because I bet I was right. I bet I was right more times than I was wrong.
And I'll be like, man, Marley, I hate when Marley talk like that because it's the cockiness and niggas get popped when he start talking like that. Oh, but anywho, we spent enough time on this game. Man, I'm gonna ride with Georgia because I've been riding with them all year, and that defense is the truth. But the lick, ladies and gentlemen, is the SC, good old fashioned SEC quarters. Those are the.
You're not SBO. I'm gonna refrain myself because of coach, but Georgia minus 6. That's all I'm gonna say.
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay. We from